Alright, evening everyone. This is Steve, aka Dreaming Crow, doing another book review today. Today is Sunday, March 8th, 2020, and it's a little after 6 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. And before we go ahead and jump into that book review, I'd like to thank my subscribers as always. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Okay. And for those of you who have not subscribed but have been viewing my channel regularly for some time, I really don't know why you're on the fence, but please hit that bell down below, subscribe to the channel, and you will be alerted to any new videos I put out in the future. Also, if you do like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, and give me a reason why you liked it or why you didn't like it. And that, of course, does help my channel and helps me to improve the content of my channel for my subscribers and viewers like you. Also, before we go ahead and jump into the review, well, I got my dinner here. This is a little something I call junkyard soup, and it's got it's something that I make fairly regularly. It's like one of my staple soups that I make on a regular basis. Potatoes, carrots, a little bit of onion and garlic, peas, corn. Usually I put celery in there, but today I ended up putting in some stewed tomatoes. There's baby spinach, shrimp, seasoned ground beef, spicy andouille sausage. Again, reason why I call it junkyard. It's got a little bit of everything in there. I'm sure you could throw cauliflower in there if you'd like, but it does have a base of V8 juice and a little bit of vegetable stock in there as well. And it's a very hearty soup, fills you up. Oh, and I forgot the white beans. There's great northern white beans in there also. So with that, folks, also got my green tea over here that have on a regular basis. I'm kind of waiting for this little bad boy to charge up. I finally got my new camera in today from Amazon. I paid to have 2-day shipping on it, and this does have IR capability as well as Wi-Fi, Zoom, and I do have a nice little microphone up here on the top. And I did get a tripod, which is over here in the corner. You don't see it at the moment, but this camera is going to fit on that tripod very nicely, and that way I don't have to be carrying my laptop back and forth in order to do videos. I'll just have my camera and my tripod, and it'll make it a lot easier for me. Hopefully I'll be getting better picture and better quality sound out of that as well. So I can't again, I'm waiting for that to charge up, so I can't wait to try that little bad boy out. Also, the Grimoire of Tiamat came in today from Amazon.com. I ended up purchasing that. I'm still kind of in the midst of working through the rites of Lucifer and awakening Lucifer at the moment. So it's going to be quite some time before I start doing any rituals out of this book. I'll probably give it a little bit of a read through though, but I really won't be doing any ritual work with that for quite a while. And then of course my dragon statue that came in, I'll try to give you a little bit more of a close-up there. This came in today as well. This is going to sit on my altar top and will be the centerpiece for Tiamat. I'm going to go ahead and consecrate that probably later on tonight and stick it on my altar top, and that way you get those Tiamat energies starting to come through there. And I'll be starting to work with her in a little bit here, so we'll see what ends up happening there. So let's go ahead and jump into that book review without too much more banter going on. And let's see, I don't have the physical copy of this book, so I will pull it up on my tablet. And it is Magical attack, silence, bind, and crush your enemies with the art of occult warfare by Gordon Winterfield. And as we know, Gordon Winterfield is one of the authors with the Gallery of Magic. He also wrote Angels of Wrath and Demons of Magic for them. Trying to get my tablet to respond here. My goodness, this thing just... Alright. And that's a little bit of what the cover looks like there. Alright, and before I go ahead and jump too far into this as well, I'm just going to go ahead and read a quick little disclaimer simply because of the nature of this video. Please consider all information to be speculation and not professional advice. Use at your own risk. The author, myself, again, commentator of this video, is not responsible for the consequences of your actions. Success does depend on the integrity of your workings, as well as initial conditions of your life and your natural abilities. Results do vary. Information here provided is on understanding that you will use it in full accordance with the laws of your country. Okay, and that's that actually also showed up at the beginning of the video before all this recording started as well. Again, just want to get that legality out of the way there. Published in 2015. Again, Magical Attack was actually one of Gordon Winterfield's first books he published with the Gallery of Magic, and as we know, we also have Damon Brand, Xenoblaze, and Adam Blackthorne as part of that group. Again, I don't have the physical copy of this book. I still work out of the digital version as well as my written copy that I've accumulated into my personal book. According to Amazon.com, the printed version does contain 82 pages. Alright, so we all have enemies in our life, unfortunately. Some people have more, some people have less. So it seems that no matter what we do, somebody seems to not like us for whatever reason. Who knows? Your long hair, your accent, you came from another country, you work too hard, you make them look bad, whatever it is. People just want to complain about everything and nothing all at the same time. So whether it's that bitch down the block that likes to gossip or that bitch sitting in the last cubicle in the office, that likes to gossip about everybody's life. And in case if you didn't notice, folks, gossip is a form of magical attack. It does spread rumors, and it is a form of cursing and attacking towards you. So the person at the office, or if it's the person at the office that likes to backstab you because they want a promotion, there's many reasons why people just seem to have enemies. Okay? Or perhaps it's your former spouse trying to swindle you out of divorce you're going through, or your best friend who happens to be screwing your former spouse at the time while you're still going through divorce proceedings. Or perhaps it's the school bully that simply likes to put you down through constant harassment and threats of violence. You always seem to have a choice, folks, to do something about it. Okay, you either do or you don't. If you don't, that's your choice. If you do, that's your choice as well. So some people like to turn the other cheek, and they find that redemption in this case in taking the beating and the slander and the gossip to simply be taking these, or they like to simply take the endless pleasures of being bent over like somebody's boy toy and being endlessly sodomized without even a single decent drop of lubrication. A lot of people seem to take this as spiritual prowess and strength and enduring the pain, what others seem to place on us. And it's really not spiritual prowess, folks. It's not redemption. It's not greatness. It's just you being a bitch, basically, is what it is. You're not doing anything about it, and so they just keep going at it. So, but did you know that you always have a chance to do something about it? Okay, sure, we can all call the po-po and give them a statement and hope that they'll just hope that they don't just chalk it up to some domestic dispute and then look the other way. You can do nothing and hope it goes away, and that's, of course, a choice in itself, and a choice to allow them their pleasure on seeing you squirm under the pressure every time they unleash their mayhem. Okay, or you have the option and the opportunity to go on the offensive, employ some magic, and silence those sons of bitches that would spread those right in juicy lies about you, to putting your former spouse in their rightful place, or taking the power away from that bully who constantly likes shredding your shorts on a daily basis. Right? So certainly you may never need to use this information, but knowing that you have a viable option to do so simply empowers you. It can help you gain the upper hand or leave your enemy crumbled in defeat. Okay, if you don't like that idea, would you rather just be left crippled? Or them? I mean, it's your choice, folks. Again, certainly there is dark magic to be used in the book, and certainly there are demons to be called upon here, but there are also angels as well, and angels, by the very fact, can be some of the most brutal warriors that can be employed in magical attack. As you look through the book, don't think that because there's no complicated rituals, or that due to lack of complexity, that there's no real power. The rituals presented here can take effect without danger to yourself, of course, so you don't have to worry about the backlash here, folks. The only backlash you're going to get in something like this is if you feel guilty about it. If it's your own guilt, then that's like pulling you down and causing a problem for you, then you're the one causing the backlash, not the magic. All right, not the angel, not the demon. Okay. Don't choose to start a war, especially one that you can't win, and choose wisdom by bringing yourself peace. Don't wait for so-called karma to come around and dish out punishment to your enemies. Now, I'm not saying that you should go around looking for trouble, by no means at all. Okay, if you do see trouble coming, don't be afraid to cross the street to avoid it. Do what you got to do in order to avoid it. That's fine. However, if trouble seems to follow you around and they don't get the hint, then you need to decide if you will settle on being the victim or the victor. Still comes down to choice, folks. Okay. When it comes to moral judgment, that is your own. Your willingness to act or not is a choice, as I've been stating throughout this video. However, when you're ready to strike, be at peace with yourself, decide on your methods of attack, and feel no guilt or shame in crushing the fuck out of your enemy. All right? Understand that magic will happen. Okay? The magic will happen. Okay? Even if you don't see anything right away, know that it will. Know it and will it. Okay? And you don't need to overthink this, folks. In the beginning of this video, I did mention, about the former spouse that's, that is looking to kill you in your divorce proceedings, while your best friend is probably banging her on a nightly basis. You decide to attack, and you wait at that point. You feel that, perhaps you think that nothing's happened at that point because you were expecting something to happen fairly quickly or see results or whatever. But magic always seems to find a way to work. And sometimes it is the most cunning way that it works that causes harm that ends up happening. So, that, wife who's, wanting to take everything you own in your divorce proceedings, 8 or 9 months later, she shows up, you get a call, and your ex says, hey, I've been diagnosed with an advanced stage of cancer. Or, your best friend who's banging their wife, winds up with the, cancer or something like that. So it's going to happen. Again, don't overthink this. And, you're not asking for them to get cancer, obviously. But magic does find the easiest route, for it to manifest. So if that seems to be the easiest way for it to happen, it's just going to take a little bit of time. You need to be patient. Okay, it's when you lust after results and you're really looking for all the evidence that you start pulling that energy away from those rituals, and then you're always looking for reasons like, to find out why it doesn't, why isn't it not working at this point? Well, because you keep fucking it up. You keep jumping in the way. Don't do that. Just let it do its thing. Okay. So to continue with the review, in this book, you will find that some people refer to as cunning magic or folk magic. You will find that in the book. That's that is part of magical attack. However, you will also find higher forms of magic, in addition to the master curse, followed by a means to pacify your enemy and make friends with them. And some people like to think that pacifying your enemy and making friends with them is probably a cheap shot. It does get the job done. Obviously, it gets them off your back, and you don't have to worry about them, coming after you and slandering you, and you don't have to worry about spending lots of energy and anger on cursing them endlessly. But as people say, folks, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. Right? And then you will also be advised on the process of magic, exploring the methods of controlling the effects, followed by a preparation and protection. In the preparation and protection section, you are introduced to a ritual to wield power. Okay? And for those of you that are familiar with the opening ritual in the Demons of Magic, the ritual to wield power is very similar to it. There's a slight variation. Simply all they do is they remove the Kabbalistic cross that you perform at the beginning of the ritual opening. And that's pretty much about it. Everything else is the same. So if you have a copy of Demons of Magic, then you have a pretty good idea of what I'm referring to, because you have seen, you've heard the invocation. EA, Asher, EA, I am that I am, I will be what I will be, yada, yada, yada. Again, that's in Demons of Magic. So I'm looking for that sigil, and there it is. And of course, you have this little sigil that appears in Demons of Magic. It first appeared here in Magical Attack, and then, Gordon Winterfield made, a slight change to the ritual opening here, of course, or I should say in Demons of Magic, by adding the Kabbalistic cross. All right. To continue, okay, once you've completed the ritual to wield power, you are then free to move on to any ritual in the book in order to complete it at that point. Basically, the ritual to wield power is kind of like your starter. Again, That kind of opens up all your doorways, your gateways, whatever, to bringing your energies in at that point to complete any ritual work you need. In the third section, this includes lesser rituals of attack. Here you learn about the opening ceremony of fire that is used to fuel the lesser rituals of attack. Okay, and followed by the workings of silence. Section 5, you are presented with the Master Curse, and this is a 12-day cursing that brings in necessary demons to cause disorder and chaos in your opponent's life. This does have a more devastating effect, but it also does have a more preparation time and more commitment for it to take place. Here you call on 4 demons to assist you. Shaz removes sight, hearing, and understanding. Sabnok brings infestation and illness, while Ram destroys honor and the home environment, and Glacia Lobolus brings bloodshed and death of friendship. Just as a quick note, when it says Shaz removes sight, hearing, and understanding, this isn't like literal. Your opponent's not going to go blind. They're not going to go deaf or anything like that. It's simply kind of like, but it does put like blinders over their eyes, and so they're less prone to noticing what's happening. So that these are like all preliminaries to like causing harm and attack on people. Anyways, you want to lessen their chances of realizing that an attack is coming, and so you look to knock them down a little bit so that they can't do something to protect themselves. That's the whole point of calling in these different spirits. Sabnok, for instance, brings infestation and illness. It's a lot easier to hex and cause harm to your enemy after their alertness has been removed, and if they're fighting illness, they're in a weakened state. They're gonna have a less of a chance to be able to defend themselves at that point. So you can kind of see how this is all kind of like knocking the person down a little bit at a time. And then Ram again destroys honor and home environment, and then Glacia brings bloodshed and death of friendship. So you may end up seeing that at the end of something like this, that person is now ostracized by like friends and family at that point for whatever reason. They're kind of left alone. Now that they're left alone, they're by themselves. They don't have anybody to assist them. Again, that's the worst part of the curse at that point, because now they're all by themselves. But you still need to kind of think about it at that point. A person who's by themselves may, if they come back from something like that, they may think, well, I got nothing to lose now. And they may just go all out at that point. So, yes, you do need to be, the curse can go ahead and take care of the situation. But somebody who's been backed up into a corner, if they feel like they've got nothing to lose and they're just going to go all out, they could really come out fighting in such a sense that it could be terrible. It could be a lot of problems at that point. So just something to think about. Let's see. Also in this section, you do learn about the ritual to bring an end to a relationship. And this particular one is a 31-day process that cannot be skipped for even one day. Okay, so if you start performing this ritual to bring an end to a relationship, you must perform it for the entire 31 days. You can't skip one day because, well, I decided I want to go to the movies with my friends, something like that. You have to figure out when you're going to go ahead and do it. It's a lot better when you do it more at nighttime or shortly after sunset. for this particular one, simply because of the demon that you're using at that particular time. They work more at night, and they also bring in legions of spirits that help them with this. Okay. Also, if you feel that let's say you start the ritual, and 5 days into the ritual, the couple breaks up and they say they're ending their relationship, you must continue this ritual for the entire 31 days, because at this point there is still a chance that they may reconcile and get back together. So if you're like seriously wanting to perform this ritual on somebody for whatever reason, Lord willing to know like what that reason might be, whatever it is, okay, you have to do it for the entire 31 days. Even if like the very next day that couple says, fuck you, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you anymore, blah blah blah, and they divide, you still got 30 more days to go ahead and perform that ritual. So if you're going to do it, make sure you commit to it, all right? Otherwise it's just going to be a lot of wasted time and energy, and then you're going to have to start all over again. Okay. The other note on that also is that particular ritual is done in silence. Okay. Even when you speak the words of invocation during the ritual, in order to bring in the demon, to make them aware of your presence and whatnot, and that you're calling them, you don't say those words out loud. That is complete. Everything is completely done in silence, and there's a reason for that, and it's explained in that particular ritual. Let's see, section 6. Again, talks about disruption magic, which causes some displeasure or mild disruption in a person's life without causing them any type of harm. Really, it's just kind of like annoyance. Okay. And then the final section 7, they talk about the end of war. This is where you learn how to subdue your enemy, pacify them, and that way you don't have to worry about having to continue to expend vital energy and anger and hatred on a regular basis, because your enemy just keeps attacking you, like, regardless. Finally, the Gallery Magic does always place an appendix in the back of their book, and their appendix section usually, as always, supports a pronunciation guide for any words that you may need assistance in pronouncing. So, in all, folks, I've used this book pretty extensively. I've probably done at least every ritual in here at least once, and there's a lot of rituals. The Master Curse, again, does take a lot of time and commitment. As you call in each demon, you're working with each demon on a period of 3 days during the Master Course. So the first 3 days you're going to invoke Shaz, and then days 4, 5, and 6 you're invoking Sabnak, and then you have Ram for 7, 8, and 9. And then Glacia is the last one for the last 3 nights. That's how those work. And I will probably actually do a video on the walkthrough for the Master Curse. I just need a little bit of time for my camera to catch up and finish charging here, and I'll be able to go ahead and start using that, and that'll be a nice little addition there, I think. I've gotten a lot of good results with a lot of these rituals that are presented in the book. Each ritual has, they're going to give you the instructions you need. Obviously, to perform each ritual, you have your sigils for each ritual. As long as you're following the steps, again, folks, you are going to get results. If you're not getting results, you need to start considering a lot of things, such as, for instance, if you're doing the 31-day ritual, and you're doing it during the daytime, yeah, that's probably going to be a problem because, again, when you're working with that particular demon in that ritual, that's a nighttime demon, okay? And you should be thinking about that type of stuff when you're doing rituals with other books from the Gallery of Magic. I've read in some of their books, they'll tell you, yeah, you could go ahead and do the ritual whenever you want, in most cases. But when I do back end research, if I'm working with a particular demon, and I happen to know that that's a nighttime demon, and I'm not getting results because I'm doing my ritual at 7 o'clock in the morning before I'm leaving for work or something like that. Well, that should be a good indication. It's like, why am I not getting results? Well, I'm trying to use a nighttime demon like during the daytime. A lot of people would say that it shouldn't be a problem, but try to look at things like that and see if you change little things about it. All right. Try working at nighttime with that demon doing that ritual again and see if something doesn't come about. And as always, I do always encourage you to look at working on yourself as well. Before you do anything like this, I always recommend the 72 Sigils of Power by Xana Blaze. Really look at deprogramming yourself for various reasons. If you're having a problem with the relationship, what brought that problem on? Like, why are you in that problem to begin with? And then really try to understand it. Like, go, if you don't have that book or you don't have that ebook, I recommend you get it and use the Kabbalistic magic in that book to remove the programming that society and culture, your family, your friends, your church has put on you. A lot of us have, we come from different religions. We, like myself, I was raised Catholic, and then I, started my occult work in my early 20s. And, for the first couple of years, I've always wondered, and now I look back on it now and I kind of laugh at it, but I'm like, why am I not getting like results and stuff like that? And I'm feeling guilty because I'm doing something that, the church says is like, blasphemous and, shouldn't be done and shouldn't be practiced, and I'm practicing divination and stuff like that. You're not supposed to do that. And, all that type of stuff, that's all programming that sits in your subconscious mind. And if your brain considers it taboo, if you try doing something that's taboo, your brain's going to say no, I don't want to do this, or no, you're supposed to feel guilty if you do this. And then you're going to feel guilty about it, and then that guilt is going to weigh down on what you're trying to do. So again, consider deprogramming yourself of things that no longer provide for you. Deprogram yourself of thoughts that have been imposed upon you by different people, that they no longer serve you. Get rid of them, and then program yourself for thoughts that do serve you. Okay, if you're thinking that money is the root of all evil, and you're trying to do a money ritual and you're not getting anything, that's a situation right there. You need to deprogram yourself for that, and then understand that it's okay to ask for money. It's okay to do a ritual for money. It's okay to receive, in those types of situations. So I'm not going to banter anymore about that. So that is the book review tonight, folks. Magickal Attack by Gordon and Winterfield from the Gallery of Magic. Can't think of too many other books that that I haven't really reviewed from them, but I'll probably find a couple of them and a couple more and get those going, and we'll see what happens. I do have other book reviews coming out here in the next week as well, and I want to try to do another video on providing magic with stones and crystals. Do a continuation on that. I know I did kind of like a little bit of a primer a week or two ago. Some people they kind of liked it, but then they wanted a little bit more, and I'm thinking that maybe I should just go ahead and maybe cut it up into a couple different sections at this point. So I'll see about getting another video on that as well. And with that, folks, I think we're just going to call this video done. And as always, I bid you peace and farewell. Make sure you tell your family you love them. Okay, tell your kids you love them. Give them a big hug. Let them know what they mean to you in your life. And with that, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And take care. Infernal blessings. Bye.